Alright, and welcome back for a new review and comparison. Today I'm going to take a look at the Phicen M34. It's a bodybuilder style body, and it's fully seamless. So kind of zoom in on the packaging here. You'll see it's a super flexible male seamless body. 28 points of articulation. Does not come with a head sculpt. And that is the manufacturer. That is a TBL League or TB League. Picked this up off of Cotswold Collectibles recently. Just got it back in stock. Give you a look at the side of the packaging, kind of shows you some of the poses you could do. Relatively simple and basic packaging. It's pretty heavy, I'll tell you that. So I'm going to crack it open and give you guys a better look at the figure. Alright, so as you open the package, this is what you're greeted to. So he does come with underwear, wrist and ankle bands. Then you remove this piece and you're greeted to the figure. What comes included is a couple of extra sets of hands. There's fists already on the figure. There are some anatomically correct parts which we're not going to get into, but let's take a quick look at the figure. As you can see, very muscular physique on the piece. Sorry about that. So let's get into the accessories. Alright, so taking a look at the accessories, those are your ankle wraps, those are your wrist wraps. I'm not going to be using those. And these are the extra hands. So he has this relaxed hands. Gripping hand. And they have a little bit of flexibility to them. You know, you can definitely get accessories into them. Another semi-relaxed hand. And a more of a gripping hand. And of course the figure itself has two fists on it, and those are the underwear. So taking a look at the aesthetic of the figure, pretty good. I gotta say the physique is really very realistic. It's got some veining, a lot of musculature in it. Very natural looking. So excellent aesthetically. Again, taking a look at the side profile and then the back profile. Very much based on Arnold Schwarzenegger's physique, which is really cool, which is why a lot of people used it for Terminator bashes, which is of course an excellent choice, or Dutch from Predator and Conan. So next up, we're going to bring in the Hot Toys TTM-20 Arnold Schwarzenegger body to compare it to. Alright, so here is the TTM-20. I kind of put it into its best arrival pose from Terminator 1. It does have, of course, some limitations on posability, whereas the new body will check out its articulation to see quite how well it poses in comparison to the Hot Toys body. But taking a look at these two side by side, you'll be able to tell the physique and size in comparison. So height wise, they're nearly identical. That's a pretty good thing. And physique-wise, they're similar, but of course the Phicen is a lot more realistic, as you could tell. Bringing it in closer, of course you have no joints showing as well, but the muscularity is a little bit more defined and realistic, especially in the legs as well, whereas the Hot Toys is a little smoother. So bottom line, the Phicen is the more realistic body. Next up, we'll get into the articulation. Alright, so testing out the articulation. The arms on the figure can go about that far, so might go a little further, but don't want to push it. They do come forward, and again, everything is seamless, so it's a little bit of a trick figuring out how far you can push these figures. You got elbow articulation, which is double jointed, which is excellent. And it does have the ability to swivel. And of course you got wrist, swivel, and hinge, which is really good. Oh, and it's very smooth. All the articulation on this is very smooth. It does have a crunch in the abs quite a bit. And it can come back. And you kind of feel a locking point when it gets into its standard pose. He can hinge side to side. Hips pretty stiff, but they move forward really well. You have a double jointed knee, and of course ankle is on a ball socket, so it can hinge and pivot. So excellent range of articulation. Comparing that to the Hot Toys, of course, it's pretty similar. You know, the arms can go out about the same, double jointed elbows, hinge and swivel at the wrist. The torso joint can go forward, though not quite as much as the Phicen, and it can go back and pivot side to side. Hips can go about that far. The Phicen does go a little further. Do get double jointed knees, and you get the hinge bull joint, but it's a double bull joint on the Hot Toys, which is not really all that beneficial. And toe articulation. So pretty comparable, just a slight bit more range in the Phicen. Alright, so here you can see the Hot Toys head on the Phicen body. It is compatible, pops right on, so the head peg size is pretty much the same. Skin tone, of course, depending on the figure, is going to be slightly different. This is an original MMS 136 Terminator 1 head, and it does have a slightly lighter complexion than the M34 body, but it's not dramatic, but it is noticeable. So bringing in the figure, you can see there is some difference there, but again, it's not too off-putting. As far as posing the figure around, it's very fluid, so that's definitely a good thing. It moves really easily, so you can get it from one pose to the next very easily. It's definitely a very heavy body. It's got a lot of weight to it. The feel of it is very squidgy, so you can squeeze it. It's very mushy kind of feeling, so it definitely moves easily, but it feels a little strange, and it is very heavy, so that's kind of a nice thing. I do like the weight, gives it more of a substantial feel to it. So I would recommend the Phicen body. This is my first look at one. I've been curious about it. There is a newer one, the M35, which is even a bit more muscular even than this one. So I might be taking a look at that. I do have it on pre-order, so stay tuned for a review of that whenever that releases. But as it stands, the Phicen M34 muscle body is highly recommended for Arnold Schwarzenegger style bash, or anything where you're looking for a muscular character. So I do recommend it. Thanks as always for watching, and until next time.